what do the figures say? That's something we'll bring to you as well. I have joining me in live now is the former National Security Coordinator for the NDC, General Nunoo-Mensah. Sir, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. What do you think? And I'm sure you follow the development, several armed robberies. And as we speak now, we understand that there has been another armed robbery somewhere in the eastern region. We'll bring more details on that. But what do you think accounts for the spate of armed robberies we are seeing recently, since January up until now?
Good afternoon, Gifty, and thank you so much. I did not hear what the minister said, so I want to answer your question directly. Armed robbery has been with us for some time, but not at this rate and this brazen courage that people in broad daylight can hold some of us to ransom and then perform their act of robbing other people. But so far we've been talking about the symptoms of this problem, which has been with us for some time and is growing in intensity and also spreading wider, just as you've just told me. But I would look at the problem more to do with the causes rather than the symptoms or the effect. Very often we actually deal with the problem, we don't go to the roots and uproot the problem. Rather we tackle the effects of the problem.
What do you think are the causes?
Tackling the real causes of the problem.
Well, what do you think are the causes of what we're seeing now? We obviously have just said that this armed robbery is something that, that has been with us, but what we're seeing now, the trend we're seeing now is quite different and very alarming. What are the causes specifically, you think?
Well, I want to look at it, you know, like I said, I'm just located close to a school, the Soul Clinic International School. And in a few years, many of the young people are going to grow up and enter the job market. There are no jobs for them. I just had a lady call me a few moments ago asking for help to get a job. And the whole day I've been, you know, getting such calls. So when young people are growing up and they have no faith in the future of their country, I mean, people have been running away to Libya, they are being taken and sold like slaves. It's happening not only in Ghana, but across the subcontinent. In Nigeria a few days ago, over 100 young children were taken away, some as young as 9 or 10 years. So if we don't tackle the root cause, which is socio-economic, in my time growing up, jobs were always a problem, having a problem with us. But life was much easier than today. And young people are finding life very difficult. So those who cannot bear it, bear the hardship, you know. Some that cannot stand the heat. And they do this kind of thing. So I'm saying that we as a people, not only the government, must work hard. It's not easy, but we must work hard to create job openings for these young people. Otherwise, this is probably going to be with us and grow in intensity.
Hopefully it doesn't. But let me find out from you. James Agaga has been speaking. He's the minority. He's the ranking member on the Defense Committee in Parliament. He's been speaking. And one of the things he alludes to is that we have other people from different countries, from ECOWAS countries, and because it's easier for them based on ECOWAS protocols to get into this country, they do so, and some of these people coming in have not been well vetted, and so you don't know who they are. That this trend of movement from other countries to this country is part of what we should blame for what is happening at the moment.
You can't put all the blame on those who are coming to Ghana. I mean, that is part of the problem. You know, poverty is actually deepening across Africa, whilst others are getting better. In Asia, Malaysia, India, Africa is, you know, is going deeper into the abyss. So, but you cannot put all the problem on those who are coming to Ghana. I agree that it's not a Ghanaian problem alone. It's a regional, if you can, African problem. Because the whole of Africa is, I don't know what's wrong with Africa, but the chaos going on all across Africa, unlike other areas like Asia and so on. So I agree. But the point I'm making is that, okay, these are people come from ECOWAS country. They have free entry to our country. And so while we are talking about this problem as a national issue, we should also be talking to our regional partners. But the problem is going to move around us. It's like Europe. Britain was getting out of Europe because they felt that people from Europe were coming there to take their job from them and so on. The same problems are happening here. So it's a problem that has to be handled on a much wider scale. And as a people, Africa has no business to be poor. We have so much wealth, but somehow we are the poorest continent on earth. Nobody understands.
Let's look at how we can somehow deal with this problem. You advised the government before, even though the Interior Minister describes what happened at the time as more reactionary. If you were to be advising the government as we speak, based on what is happening, the trend of brazen armed robbery we are seeing, what will be your advice to government?
My advice will be, I still believe that it's a socio-economic problem.
So what would you tell government to do?
Which is the case. So, let's go back a few years. In 1972, a government came into power. A gentleman called General Champon took power with the Progress Party government and did two things which helped a lot: housing and agriculture. In the White House I'm talking to you right now, I paid 5,000 cedis, 50 pesos for the house. And you won't believe this, but that's a fact. It's part of a complex. The whole thing cost me today 250 pesos, part of a coconut. So this youth, look, Accra is short of housing, not only Accra, the whole country is short of housing. These people are sitting rough in Accra. What prevents the government from acquiring land banks? And Accra can see one between Winneba, Kasua, and Bojuasi to build a new town, not just build houses. A town that you can live there and it can be done. Don't tell me it cannot be done.
So you're talking about dealing with the socio-economic problems. I'm looking at how we can tackle this from a purely security perspective. And because you are well vested with security,
you cannot cure it security-wise until you handle it the way I'm talking about.
It appears to be a long-term. It appears to be a long-term solution. What will be your short-term?
No, not long term. It can start tomorrow.
But then, what will be your short-term advice about how to deal with this trend?
Yes.
Security.
I'm telling you, it's not long term. Yeah, security-wise, you come there. You can have the problem on two levels. Security-wise, the security people, the police, the BNI, and so on, have to infiltrate these groups. It can be done so that they know their plan before they hit, on their target. But the point I'm making is that if you tell me that it's a long term, people cannot sleep on the street for a long term. You have to tackle it tomorrow. It can be done. So, from my perspective, as I sit here, if you know that I moved O'Reilly Senior High School and build a house in 50 days, it can be done. We are not sure in this country. It can be done. If you can get out the void of all the money you are wasting on these fanciful vehicles and invest in the people, I am telling you that we can actually do solve the problem immediately. But on the other front, the police have to get smarter, have to get intelligence for these. They are getting more dangerous, and they're getting more sophisticated now. So they need more sophisticated means to deal with them. But I keep on telling you that will not solve the problem until it's like you getting a headache, maybe caused by constipation or by malaria. If you don't take malaria and take only anodine, whatever, aspirin, it will not go. The problem will go and come back until we deal with it. Look, these youth are growing. Anywhere you go, they are coming in their numbers. And there's no hope for them. And as long as we don't tackle that problem, the problem will get bigger and bigger, and so become even more dangerous than we can bear.
The police say, and let me give you my very final question. The police say that they made some arrests. I'm hoping that they can count on your advice as to how to proceed going forward beyond this, dealing with it socio-economically. What can the police do if you were to be advising government as you did before in the previous administration?
What I would tell the police, the IGP, and even the politicians to do, I've been with the security system since Nunoo-Mensah time, more than 50 years. And I've been talking, they hear me talking. Nobody bothered to say, General, you have ideas, sit down here, let's talk. What do you have in mind? You know, I'm actually a minister for the national security, whom I know very well, Mr. Kadapa. They know me. I have been talking. You have heard me talking, but nobody minds me. You know, and I'm saying that they should call people who have got the know-how and talk to them, see the way forward. They know, and they alone cannot handle it. The problem is a very big one. So there are people in Ghana who have the know-how. Call them, talk to them, ask their views on the way forward.
Do you agree?
And I've talked to you about one thing I'll jump on day.
Do you agree with bringing in the military to support and procuring helicopters like it's been said around?
And shoot from the air, shoot armed robbers from the air, or what? Don't spend on the wrong. Define the problem clearly. Understand the problem, and I'm just define the problem as we face it today. You just go and buy weapons, go buy machine guns, buy tanks to shoot armed robbers. No, it's a socio-economic problem. What is happening in Boko Haram in Nigeria is the same thing. When our leaders spend their monies on things that don't matter to the people, this will happen. So I'm saying that let's spend more money on the youth, invest in them, in agriculture, in housing, so they can feel. So look, I bought tangerine a few days ago, no bigger than the fist of a newborn baby, and I paid 250 pesos, the money I paid for my house in a shop in Accra here. When you live like in a fourth economy like that, what do you expect? People cannot survive, and I'm saying that you can do something about the problem. You can. Okay. I've done it before. I've built schools everywhere. Okay. You should get ministers who have the courage, who have the strength of conviction of their mind and body, and move. You have to lead by example. If you do that, and the youth see that you are doing something that will benefit them. But if you go and buy land cruisers all over the place, and they can't get food to you, what do you expect them to do?
General Nunoo-Mensah, Brigadier General Nunoo-Mensah, I will say a very big thanks to you for your time this afternoon. Brigadier General Nunoo-Mensah is a former national security advisor to the previous administration there.